Good evening, students, and welcome you all in the very first session of innovative learning classes. Myself, 𝐂𝐿𝐼𝐴, Life Science Teacher, District Punch. Dear students, in today's session, we will going to discuss the basic concept of lifespan of different organisms by knowing about the survivorship curve, and also going to develop the basic concept of reproduction in general. So let's start the session. Student, you already know that Earth have large number of organisms, and every organism that exists on this Earth can live or survive only for a particular or certain period of time, and after that they will die. So student, that certain periods are that specific periods during which an organism survive or perform its all essential activities is known as lifespan. क्या कहते हैं उसको? Lifespan कह सकते हैं. And it is the first concept of your 12th biology. So in simple language, I would say that lifespan may be defined as the period from the birth of the organism to its natural death. I can write here natural death. Student, organism may die due to several reasons. Some organism may die due to accidents. Some can die due to pathological problem, whereas some other organism that may die due to predation, in which one organism may eaten up by the other organism. So these are not the relevant examples of the natural death. Why? Because natural death is that death in which an organism after its formation grew up, become older and older, and finally die due to senescence or aging of their body, in which due to senescence their body strength will get decreased and finally they prone to get death. So these are the best way to explain the natural deaths. So whenever we are going to study the lifespan of a particular organism, we have to consider it as a specific periods from the birth of a particular organism to its natural death. I think it's clear. Student, you already know that every organism that exists on this earth have a specific lifespan. Some can survive for shorter period of time, whereas some have a very longer period of time. So let us consider the lifespan of different organisms and find out how and in what way we are going to develop the ranges of the lifespan among different organisms, and how and in what way a organism have a longer lifespan whereas some other organism have a shorter lifespan. So एक एक करके इसको डिस्कस करते हैं. So सबसे पहले we are here a list of different animals having different lifespan. Let us discuss one by one. Students, elephant is one of the largest land animal on this earth. It have a lifespan of 60 to 90 years. You have to remember it. Moreover, cow, it have a lifespan of 25 to 30 years. It means all the species of the cow can survive within this particular range. We have horse, it have a lifespan of 60 years. We have crocodile, it have a lifespan of 60 years. We have tortoise, it have a lifespan of 100 to 150 years. Friends, let us compare the lifespan of two animals, especially elephant with that of the tortoise. Before going to compare the lifespan of these two animals, I just want to share one thing with you. In the lifespan of different organisms, when we study the lifespan of different organisms, you have to remember one thing. There is no exact relationship exist between the lifespan of organism with that of its size. That it is not like that. The organism having large bulky body can live for longer periods, whereas those organisms which have a very small sluggish, I would say short body, can have a shorter lifespan. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. इसी concept को find करेंगे हम by comparing the lifespan of more than two different organisms. Since I have told you that elephant have a lifespan of 60 to 90 years, elephant का lifespan 60 or 90 years, it means all the species of the elephant can live within this speculated period of time. After that they will die. Similarly, when we compare the lifespan of elephant with that of lifespan of tortoise. Tortoise is not bigger in comparison to the elephant. It is smaller. Elephant को अगर tortoise से compare करते हैं तो elephant काफी बड़ा जानवर माना जाता है in comparison to the tortoise. Whereas the lifespan of tortoise is 100 to 150 years. So it's clear that the size of the organism does not have any relationship with the lifespan, with its lifespan. Let us take one more example. Cow and horse both are approximately of same size. Cow have a lifespan of 25 to 30 years, where a horse have a lifespan of 60 years. So these differences in the lifespan indicate no relationship between the size as well as the lifespan of the organism. Let us compare two more organisms. We have crow and parrot. Student, crow and parrots are those organisms which belong to the class aves of the animal kingdom. Both are approximately of the same size. Crow can survive for 15 years, whereas parrot have a much bigger lifespan in comparison to crow. It have a lifespan of 140 years. या हम कह सकते हैं 120 ईयर से लेकर 140 ईयर तक लाइफ स्पेन पैरेट की डिफरेंट स्पीशीज का रहता है. तो पैरेट्स हैव ए क्वाइट longer lifespan. So these differences in the lifespan of different organisms, irrespective of their size, indicate that there is no exact relationship between the lifespan of the organism with that of its size. So one thing is very much clear. Whenever a question is asked in your exam, is there is any relationship exist between the lifespan of the organism with that of its size? So you simply consider this point in your mind, that there is no relationship exist between the lifespan of the organism with that of its size. Moreover, you have to learn the lifespan of at least 5 to 6 animals. Maybe it comes in your examinations, so you have to consider it. Okay, likewise butterfly, it have a lifespan of 2 to 3 weeks. We have mayfly. Mayfly is that animal which have a very short lifespan of 24 hours. We have rice, it have a lifespan of 3 to 4 months, and banyan tree, it have a lifespan of 200 to 300 years. We have fruit fly, 30 days, and like rose, it have a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. So student, एक क्वेश्चन आपके दिमाग में आ रहा होगा कि why the lifespan of organism varies? Why a organism having a large bulky body have a shorter lifespan, and why a organism having very small body have a quite bigger lifespan? So lifespan जब हम study करेंगे तो we have to know about various other aspects of the reproductive biology, physiological conditioning, ecological aspect, genetical aspects, as well as the overall behavioral aspect of a particular organism. So धीरे धीरे हम उसको discuss करेंगे. So after studying the range or the lifespan of different organisms, let me introduce two very important terms, both competitive point of view as well as examination point of view. This is very important term, जिसको हम सेमल पैरस या सेमल पैरिटी भी कह सकते हैं, या दूसरे को हम इटीरो पैरस या इटीरो पैरिटी भी कह सकते हैं. स्टूडेंट, यू हैव टू रिमेंबर these two terms. This is a very important term. Semal parous organisms are those organisms which can reproduce once in their entire lifespan. जो अपनी पूरी जिंदगी में सिर्फ एक ही बार रिप्रोडक्शन करते हैं, and after that they will die with some exception. That means semal parous organisms are those category of organisms which have only single replication, single reproduction during their entire lifespan. We have mayfly in this category, we have octopus, we have squid in this category, and we have some vertebrates like salmon fish. वो भी एक ही बार reproduction करती है, लेकिन after reproduction they will not die, he will not die, it will not die, it will remain alive for several years. But reproduction एक ही बार करती है. उन सब organism को हम semal parous organism कहते हैं. Second one, इटीरोपेरस, इसका बिल्कुल उल्टा. इटीरोपेरस organism या इटीरोपेरिटी term signify या track those category of organism which can have multiple cycles of reproduction. They can reproduce more than one type during their entire lifespan. So these are the two technical terms. और इटीरोपेरस में कौन से organism आते हैं इस लिस्ट में अगर देख लिया जाए तो इटीरोपेरस में we have elephant, we have cow, we have horse, we have crocodile. So all these organisms they belong to the इटीरोपेरस type of the category. अब हम सीधे मुद्दे पे आते हैं। मैंने आपको बताया एक ऑर्गेनिज्म का जो लाइफ स्पेन है वो क्यों ज्यादा होता है और वो क्यों कम होता है, उसके पीछे क्या रीजन है कि some organism can have a shorter lifespan and some organism can have a very long lengthy lifespan. So in order to find that answer we have to study the survivorship curve. This is the most important part of today's discussion. सबसे important discussion का हमारा ये topic है आज का, survivorship curve. Student, survivorship curve, it is a graphical representation or a specific curve that represent the number of individual in a population. That means एक population के कितने individual कितनी देर तक survive करते हैं और कितनी age तक जिंदा रहते हैं, उस relationship को जब हम find करेंगे तो वो relationship हमें कौन बताएगा? survivorship curve. So it is the curve that represent the number of individual in a population that can be expected to survive at any specific age. कि किस ग्रुप के कितने ऑर्गेनिज्म कितनी देर तक सर्वाइव करते हैं और कितनी एज तक सर्वाइव करते हैं, वो रिलेशनशिप हम बताता है सर्वाइवरशिप कर्व. एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू सर्वाइवरशिप कर्व we have three different types of the curve that are obtained by several we can say statistical data are based on several researches. First curve is known as the type 1 curve. Student, you have to focus each and every aspects of this particular topic. It's a very important part of your discussions so far as competition is concerned. You have to remember, you have to be alert and meticulous in each and every part of today's introductory lesson. So type first curve. Type first curve includes all those category of organism. You have to remember this point. इस कर्व में उन सब एनिमल को प्लेस किया जाता है which have low death rate in their early stage and have high survivorship rate. मैं दो चीजें बताई हैं. You have to remember these two things. That means if we consider type first curve, इसमें वो organisms आते हैं जिन organism का low mortality rate होता है in their early stage and they can survive for longer period of time. लंबे समय तक जिंदा रहते हैं और उनका जो डेथ रेट होता है वो एक कंप्लीट लाइफ स्पेन की साइकिल को कंप्लीट करने के बाद जब वो अपनी ओल्ड एज में आते हैं तो एब्रप्ट डिक्लाइन आ जाता है. इस पॉइंट को आप अपने दिमाग में रखोगे. इट मींस कि टाइप फर्स्ट कर्व में उन ऑर्गेनिज्म को प्लेस किया गया है जिन ऑर्गेनिज्म का लाइफ स्पेन काफी बड़ा है और जिन ऑर्गेनिज्म्स के इनिशियल अर्ली मोर्टेलिटी रेट बहुत ज्यादा कम माना जाता है और दे कैन हैव ए हाई मोर्टेलिटी रेट एट देयर फाइनल स्टेज, जिसको हम एजिंग स्टेज कह सकते हैं. ओल्ड एज स्टेज में एब्रप्ट उनका मोर्टेलिटी रेट बढ़ जाता है और उसमें हमारे पास एलिफेंट आते हैं, उसमें हमारे पास काऊ आ सकता है, उसमें हमारे पास हॉर्स आ सकता है, क्रोकोडाइल आ सकता है. कुछ एग्जांपल देखिए मैं आपको इलस्ट्रेट करूंगा. लेट अस ड्रॉ या फाइंड आउट ए ग्राफ. अब ह्यूमंस को ले लो. If a particular couple produce two children, two infants during their early stage, their rate of mortality is very low in their early stage. बचपन में डेथ होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी उनकी बहुत कम होती है अगर ह्यूमंस को लेते हैं. It means कि human beings have a life span of 60 to 70 years. That is the average. 70 साल तक human being जीता है. This is the average lifespan of the human beings. So why? Because human beings have a very low mortality rate in their early stage. लेकिन जब ह्यूमन बींग्स ओल्ड एज में आ जाता है, दैट मीन्स आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग इट्स स्पेसिफिक लाइफ स्पेन ऑफ 70 ईयर, एब्रप्टली दैट मीन्स उसका सर्वाइवरशिप कर्व डाउन आना स्टार्ट हो जाता है एंड दैट इज द स्टेज वेयर द मोर्टेलिटी रेट इंक्रीजेस. तो दिस इज द इट मीन्स के वो ऑर्गेनिज्म जिन ऑर्गेनिज्म का लाइफ स्पेन काफी ज्यादा माना जाता है उनको हम टाइप फर्स्ट कर्व में डालते हैं. सेकंड कर्व को पढ़ने से पहले हम थर्ड कर्व के ऊपर थोड़ा सा डिस्कशन करेंगे. थर्ड कर्व फर्स्ट कर्व के बिल्कुल अपोजिट मानी जाती है. दिस कर्व ट्रैक या इंक्लूड्स दोज ऑर्गेनिज्म इन विच दे हैव हायर मोर्टेलिटी रेट इन देयर अर्ली स्टेज. अर्ली स्टेज में उनकी जो मोर्टेलिटी रेट होती है वो काफी ज्यादा होती है, वेयर एज देयर सर्वाइवलशिप रेट, उनके जिंदा रहने की संभावना वो भी उतनी ज्यादा नहीं रहती in comparison to the animal that categorize or that belong to the type first curve. तो दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ऑफ टुडेज डिस्कशन, और इसमें हमारे पास एग्जांपल आती है फिशेस और ऑल इनवर्टिब्रेट्स में. एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट फॉर द टाइप थर्ड कर्व ऑर्गेनिज्म, they always uses those method of reproduction in which they produces large number of young ones. उनके यंग वंस रेट ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन उनमें काफी ज्यादा होता है. क्यों? अगर ऑर्गेनिज्म का रेट ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन कम होगा और रेट ऑफ सर्वाइवल रेट, if a particular organism have less reproductive rate and have low survival rate, then ultimately they will get perished out from this earth. So इसीलिए ये organism ज्यादा देर तक survive नहीं कर सकते, they have low lifespan and that is why they continually produces large number of young ones, क्योंकि early mortality rate में सबसे ज्यादा होता है. और इसमें invertebrates हम include करते हैं और कुछ fishes, एग्जाम्पल ले लो कॉड फिश की. आप जानते हो कि फिशेस, चाहे कॉड फिश हो या बोनी फिश हो या कोई दूसरी फिश हो, हम कार्टिलेजिन फिश भी कंसीडर कर सकते हैं. दे प्रोड्यूसेस thousands of eggs, but all the eggs will not hatch and properly develop to produce the fish. अब फ्रॉग्स देख लीजिए, फ्रॉग्स कितने एग्स प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है, कितने लार्वी प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, सारे के सारे लार्वी डेवलप होके मेटामॉर्फोसिस करके अडल्ट फ्रॉग में तब्दील नहीं होते, बिकॉज दे हैव हाई मोर्टेलिटी रेट इन देयर अर्ली स्टेज. और मोरेवर उनका जो सर्वाइवरशिप रेट होता है वो भी उतना ज्यादा हायर नहीं होता है. तो टाइप थर्ड कर्व में वो ऑर्गेनिज्म डालेंगे. थर्ड वन, तीसरी कैटेगरी जो टाइप सेकंड कर्व होती है. टाइप सेकंड कर्व इंक्लूड्स ऑल दोज ऑर्गेनिज्म व्हिच हैव कांस्टेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट. उनका बर्थ रेट और डेथ रेट लगभग बराबर रहता है और उनका रेट ऑफ जो सर्वाइवरशिप रेट, जिंदा रहने की संभावना होती है, वो भी कांस्टेंसी में रहती है. और इसमें हमारे पास ज्यादातर बर्ड्स आते हैं. अब स्टूडेंट्स, आई थिंक यू गॉट योर आंसर कि व्हाई द ऑर्गेनिज्म हैव क्वाइट लॉन्गर लाइफ स्पेन. अगर किसी ऑर्गेनिज्म का लाइफ स्पेन ज्यादा है, क्यों ज्यादा है, उसके बारे में भी थोड़ा सा बता दूं. पहले तो मैंने ये रेंज बताई, ये रेंज जो बताई गई है, ये रेंज बताई गई है अकॉर्डिंग टू द सर्वाइवरशिप कर्व्स. अब एक ऑर्गेनिज्म का लाइफ स्पेन काफी ज्यादा है, वो ज्यादा देर तक सर्वाइव करता है, या एक ऑर्गेनिज्म का जो लाइफ स्पेन छोटा है, वो क्यों है, उसके पीछे सबसे जो सिग्निफिकेंट एस्पेक्ट है वो यही है. इफ ए पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म हैव लॉन्गर लाइफ स्पेन, अगर एक ऑर्गेनिज्म ज्यादा देर तक जिंदा रहता है, उसका एक फैक्टर है कि उसको प्रेडेशन का खतरा नहीं है. दूसरा, उसके रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स, उसका जो मोड ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन है वो बहुत ज्यादा स्लो है. तीसरी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज, उसकी जो डेवलपमेंट होती है वो बहुत ही स्लोली होती है, उतनी फास्ट डेवलपमेंट नहीं होती. अगर डेवलपमेंट स्लो होगी तो अल्टीमेटली वो एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेज तक आते आते समय ले लेगा. वेयर एज दोज ऑर्गेनिज्म विच हैव ए शॉर्टर लाइफ स्पेन, छोटा लाइफ स्पेन है, उन ऑर्गेनिज्म का छोटा लाइफ स्पेन क्यों है? क्यों? Because they are living in that particular environmental condition where predation is at the peak. And हमेशा याद रखना, those organisms who have shorter lifespan, they always have high rate of reproduction, whereas those organisms which have longer lifespan, they have shorter rate of reproduction. ये environment का रूल माना जाता है. इसी रूल के तहत, जिसको हम अपनी भाषा में कहते हैं कैरिंग कैपेसिटी, बेशक एक ऑर्गेनिज्म जिसका शॉर्टर लाइफ स्पेन है वो मिलियंस ऑफ एग क्यों ना प्रोड्यूस कर दे, सर्वाइव वही करेंगे जो बेस्ट होंगे अकॉर्डिंग टू द सर्वाइवल ऑफ द फिटेस्ट. सो आई थिंक इन द बेसिक एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ लाइफ स्पेन एंड अबाउट द सर्वाइवरशिप कर्व, it's clear. No, 12th level tak it's more than sufficient for you peoples. After that you will going to study detail about the survivorship curve and its related numerical aspect. So student, lifespan mein ek, so students, after discussing the basic concept of lifespan along with the survivorship curve, where we discuss the various types of curves in which we can know about the mortality rate as well as survivorship rate of the different organism. So it's very significant for we people to understand the different stages of the lifespan of the different organism, because we are discussing the basic aspects of the lifespan, and it's very mandatory for us to know about the different characteristic feature of all of the various stages that are important for the concept of lifespan. So likely every organism have to go through with these 4 different stages: stage of juvenility, This is the early stage in the life cycle of a particular organism, and this stage is characterized by the development of the reproductive organ. That means during this stage the capacity of the reproductive organ is start developing. Reproduction करता नहीं है, लेकिन reproductive organ start develop करना start कर देते हैं. That means reproductive organs start developing. So in literal language we can say that it is the stage at which the overall capacity of the reproductive organs start developing. Then after the juvenile stage we have the very important and the significant stage in the life cycle of every organism, that is adulthood stage. You have to remember the most significant characteristic feature of this stage, that is reproduction. It means that during adolescent stage an organism reproduce to give birth to their young ones. Organism reproduction करता है, अपने young one produce करता है, so as to maintain their continuity, या so as to maintain their existence on this earth. After the adolescent stage we have the aging or the senescent stage. Students, due to continued reproduction, the overall physical, reproductive as well as mental strength of the organism decreases, and due to continued decrease in the functioning of the body of the organism, it enter in its third stage. जिस stage को हम aging या senescence कह सकते हैं. And aging in simple language may be defined as deterioration in the functioning of the body of the organism. Organism का muscle strength कमजोर हो जाता है, धीरे धीरे reproductive rate कम होना start हो जाता है, metabolic rates also get decreases, the process of digestion also get affected, and like other the circulatory system कह सकते हैं. Overall हम simple language कह सकते हैं the overall strength of the organism is decreased during this particular stage, and this stage finally leads to death stage, at which the overall functioning of the body, overall vital functioning of the body stop functioning. That means जब organism की vital organ काम करना बंद कर देंगे, that stage is known as the death, which is characterized by the complete stoppage of the various essential activities of the body of the organism. So student, ये छोटा सा concept था life span की different stages के concept को लेके, और हर stage की एक अपनी अहमियत है, वो आपने दिमाग में रखनी है. अब at the end, as I told you, that death is the final stage which continually decreases the number of the organism on this earth. Let us take the example of butterfly. Students, if butterfly have a lifespan of 2 to 3 weeks, it means that within 3 weeks all the butterfly will get perished out from this earth. But still we have large number of butterfly on this earth. Students, the only answer of this question is reproduction. So let me define the very important concept of your syllabi, that is reproduction. तो यहाँ से हमारा reproductive system का definition start होता है. तो student, reproduction है क्या? Reproduction is basically a biological process in which all living organisms give rise to offspring or young ones which are similar to themselves. एक ऐसा process जिस process से organisms young one produce करता है और वो young ones similar होते हैं उस parent के साथ. जैसे cat can produce cats, dogs can produce dogs, or elephant can produce elephants. It means during reproductions the young ones so produce the parents are similar to themselves, like begets like. जैसे हम कह सकते हैं like begets like. But in some cases the young one produced by the parents, they have some genetic differences. एक ही species की हैं लेकिन उसमें कुछ phenotypic और कुछ genotypic कैरेक्टर नए पैदा हो जाते हैं, जिसको हम डिस्कस करेंगे कि वो सेम स्पीशीज जब अपने यंग वन प्रोड्यूस करता है तो वो जेनेटिकली डिफर क्यों होते हैं. इट शुड बी डिस्कस इन द सेकंड फेज ऑफ द माय वीडियो लेसंस, जिसको हम सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में कंसीडर करेंगे. सो डेफिनेशंस को पढ़ने के बाद, डेफिनेशन को गो थ्रू करने के बाद, लेट अस डिस्कस अबाउट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ द रिप्रोडक्शन, दैट इज पर्पस. Why it is important? Because you have to answer this particular part in your competitive exam. Many times in needs and other medical examination, there is a open-ended questions based on the purpose of the reproduction, based on the significance of the reproduction. So let us discuss the main significant feature of reproduction one by one. So first of all, the first important characteristic feature is first important purpose of reproduction is what we call continuity of the race. Student, as you already know that every living organism have a limited lifespan and after that they will die. So if organisms have limited lifespan, it means they have to die within a speculative period of time, and after that death, the overall existence of organism on this particular earth is decreasing, and a time will come when life will get perished out or wiped out from this earth, but that is not possible. Why? Because every organism before its death, it continually produces, undergo reproduction to reproduce its young ones for the continuity of the race. So this is the most important. That is why the life is possible on this earth. So if we consider one word for the reproduction, that is continuity. It means reproduction is the only process that maintain the continuity of life on this earth. Then perpetuation of the species. Students, perpetuations is also a very important purpose of the reproduction, very important feature of the reproduction. Here, the parental characteristics feature. That means the characteristic feature that represent the parent body through which the parents can survive is transferred to the young ones so that they can also continue the process of the reproduction, and that is known as the perpetuation of the species. So perpetuations, in one line, in one statement, I would say that transmission of the genetic characteristic feature of the parents to the offspring, and that is possible only through the reproduction. Third one is the replacement. Student, due to death, the number of population continually decreases, and it is the reproduction that maintain a complete balance in the number of the population of a particular organism, because death decreases the number of the population, whereas through reproduction the number of the population increases. So there is a right balance in the number of the organism that appear on this earth, that exist on this earth, and it is done only through the reproduction. Then we have the population characteristics feature. Student, reproductive system, I would say reproduction is the only process that maintain a complete balance in the specific characteristic feature of the population. If we study the population of a particular organism, we may know that a population of a particular organism may be characterized by the presence or existence of the various type of the individual. We have the young ones, we have the adult, we have the aged one. So it is the reproduction. If the number of what we call the aged people increases, it is not a good sign for the population, because aged people turn toward the final stage of the lifespan. So it is the reproduction that continually produces young ones, so as to maintain a balance, in the different what we call the characteristic feature of a particular population. So reproductive system play a very important role in order to maintain the different type of the individual in a particular population. And last but not least, we have the most important and significant feature, I would say the main significant role of what we call the reproduction, that is variations and its transfer. Students, first of all, we have to know about the term variation. Students, variations are those changes which play a very important role in the struggle for existence of every organism. Rather, we can say that these variations, they play a very important role in the adaptation of an organism to the prevailing other dynamic environment. अगर एक organism को किसी भी environment में adopt होना है तो उसको change होना पड़ता है, because change is the law of nature, and these changes which play a very important role in the existence of a particular organism, they have to be transferred to their offspring so that they can bestly utilize the parental characteristic feature for their existence on this earth, and that is done only through the reproduction. So these are the main significant features of the reproduction. क्योंकि इसके related आपको questions आता है students, एक ओपन एंडेड फॉर्म में क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि व्हाट इज द मेन सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द रिप्रोडक्शन, क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है रिप्रोडक्शन की, तो उसमें स्टेटमेंट फॉर्म में आ जाता है एंड यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दीज 5 important significant are the main features of the reproduction. Students, we have large number of organisms on this earth and every organism have to reproduce for the continuity of the race. So different organism, they uses different methods, they uses different strategies to produce their young ones. Likely I would say there are 2 main mode of reproduction. One is known as the asexual reproduction and other one is known as the sexual reproduction. So let us discuss the first aspects of the reproduction, which is very simplest mode of reproduction, usually found in simple living organism, that is asexual reproduction. Students, asexual reproduction literally means production of young ones without the formation and fusion of the sex cells. नाम से clear है, asexual. A means without, the term sexual is related with the term sexus, which is a Latin word that means separation. So here one organism is self-sufficient to produce the young ones. No formation of gametes, rather no fusion of the gametes take place. Neither the gametes formation take place nor the fusion of the gametes take place. It is the very simplest mode of the reproduction in which a single organism, I would say single parent, is self-sufficient to produce the young one. Students, in asexual reproduction, the young one so produced by the parents are genetically identical to the parents and are so called as clones. It means जो young one produce होते हैं इस reproduction के द्वारा वो physically और genetically exact replica होते हैं अपने parents से. There is no change occur in their phenotypic as well as genotypic trait except in certain mutated condition. Moreover, it is that form of the reproduction which is observed in all unicellular organism as well as some multicellular organism, and it is based on only mitotic division. There is no change occur in the number of the chromosome of the parent cell after the reproduction. So it have 4 important characteristic features. First, it is uniparental, that means only one parent is self-sufficient to produce the young ones. Very simple way में है, एक organism है वही अपनी growth करने के बाद divide करेगा और दो अपने daughter cells produce कर देगा. So there is no involvement of what we call the 2 parent. No gametogenesis. Students, gametogenesis or fertilization, these are one of the most important genetically and harmonically controlled process that leads to the formation of sex cells and fusion of the sex cells. So these 2 processes are not linked with the asexual mode of the reproduction. We have rapid. It is a very rapid mode of reproduction. Here the young one produce within a limited period of time, and all the young ones so produced by the parents are genetically identical to the parents. One thing I add in asexual mode of reproduction. Student, asexual mode of reproduction हमेशा वही organism ज़्यादातर इस्तेमाल करते हैं जो type 3rd curve से belong करते हैं. Those organism which have high rate of mortality in their early stage and they usually have low survivorship rate. They usually undergo this method to produce their young ones ताकि वो कम समय में ज़्यादा young one produce कर सकें और अपनी existence को maintain कर सकें. So this is about the asexual reproduction. Let us take up the sexual reproduction. So in sexual reproduction simply means production of young ones through the formation and fusion of the young ones. It is the most complex and highly varied form of the reproduction. Here the sex cells are involved, that is male sex and female sex. Male produces male gametes जिसको हम sperm कहते हैं, likely female produces female gametes जिसको हम ovum कहते हैं. These 2 gametes they fused and produces young ones. So we will discuss the different events of the sexual reproduction in my next video lectures, where we will discuss in detail that how the young ones so produced by the sexual reproductions are genetically varied in comparison to the asexual reproduction, and we will also find out the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. So I think this is clear about the reproductions and its types. So after studying in detail about the lifespan and its some relations, we will discuss reproduction and its types, its further purpose, its significance, its characteristic feature. The basic introductory part of today's lesson is completed. Now students, I have decided that in my every video lecture I will come with a very important critical points. हर lesson में एक critical point के साथ आऊँगा and we will discuss it with some examples. So for today's lesson we have one critical aspect. No organism is immortal. That means जो organism पैदा हुआ है उसने मरना है. Then why we consider single cell organism as immortal? जो सिंगल सेल ऑर्गेनिज्म है वो क्यों नहीं मरते, वो इमॉर्टल क्यों है? सो लेट अस डिस्कस दिस क्रिटिकल एस्पेक्ट्स बाय the help of a short mechanism. Students, we have a parent organism. Let it considered an organism. ये एक parent organism है. This parent organism will obtain its nutrients. वो food लेगा, अपनी growth development करेगा, and after attaining an optimum size, it divides mitotically, equationally to produce the two daughter cells. And during this division, it transfers its entire genetic material. It transfers its entire structural aspect into the two daughter cells equally. So during this division, the parent organism, it loses its physical identity. Okay, the young ones so produced by the division of the parents, it again undergo what we call the growth and developments to increase their size, become again the parents, and after attaining an optimum size, they again divides to produce the two daughter cells. These daughter cells, it again after completing growth and development produce two daughter cells, and likely that one also produce the two daughter cells. After the second division, after when the daughter cells completing their growth and development, they again divides to produce the daughter cells, they also loses its physical identity. It means during the divisions, the parent organism loses its physical identity as it's divide completely into two daughter cells. So if a particular organism does not has its own identity, then how can we consider the death of a particular organism? जिस चीज की physical identity ही नहीं है, उस चीज की death तो हो ही नहीं सकती. So the only answer of this question is that because the parent transfer its genetic material equally among the daughter cells, and ultimately it loses its identity, and this is the answer for today's critical points. तो आई थिंक आपको क्लियर है इस एस्पेक्ट से लेके. ऐसे ही नेक्स्ट टॉपिक में कुछ और क्रिटिकल पॉइंट्स को लेके आऊंगा जिनको हम डिस्कस करेंगे विद सम मोर इनोवेटिव एग्जांपल्स. सो एट द एंड यू आर once again requested to please watch and subscribe my YouTube channel Innovative Learning Classes. With the passage of time, I will use more innovative techniques to develop more and more academics as well as competitive topics for you peoples. And for study material, you can access my website Innovative Learning Classes. Here you can get all the study material. Moreover, after 25th of July, we will going to conduct online quiz pertaining to the different aspects of the life science. So thank you, good luck.